The latest game in the Hyrule Warriors series has just come out, and to fairly middling reviews, so I thought that since this is a game I really did enjoy, I would review it. Just to be clear, I will be reviewing this game based off of 10 categories. Graphics and visuals, story content, pacing, gameplay, user experience, soundtrack, replayability, completeness, support, and uniqueness. I will mostly be grading these based off of comparisons between Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, and Tears of the Kingdom. Our first category are graphics and visuals. Now this game is beautiful. It runs at 60 FPS with very little frame drops. The lighting is beautiful, the world and maps are incredibly detailed, and there's many animations, but unfortunately you can see some rough edges and some pixelation going on and more rugged geometry. But in most areas the game looks great. It holds up to the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom, despite there being way more enemies on screen. And while it doesn't really hold up to most modern games, like on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, I'm still giving this a 9 out of 10. Now, the story of this game, and all of the other Hyrule Warriors games, honestly, is really the strong point, and I feel like this game doesn't disappoint. One aspect is how it's supposed to be canon. That kind of draws it back because they couldn't add as much as Age of Calamity did. But also, I feel like it kind of elevates it to a level where you feel like it's more important because it really is a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. And then also, it's kind of predictable because, once again, it is canon, so you know the ending before you really even play the game. It is very fleshed out, though, and I think it deserves an 8 out of 10. Now, this next thing, the pacing of the game, is one of the more controversial aspects. People think that the quests in between main story missions are too long, and that the cutscenes are also a weird way to do it. But I disagree. I feel like having cutscenes in between gameplay and main story missions is the best way to do it. Like, you'd be distracted by all the battling if people were talking during them. And then also, the in-between missions can be skipped. But why would you? Because, like, they have so much extra content. You get conversations between characters, you get new characters. Another thing I really like is how you can regain or lose territory. It makes it feel like a real grand adventure, like you're in a war. So I give the pacing a 10 out of 10. Now, the gameplay is one of the most important parts of the game, obviously. And this game does it really well. Battles can be a little bit mindless sometimes, but you can really feel the impact in every hit. The controls are great, as I said. Side missions add a lot of depth to the game. Device dispensers, like in Tears of the Kingdom, you can unlock things. It feels like a Zelda game, even though it's just a spin-off, and I really appreciate that the work went in there. Once again, though, combat can be kind of repetitive, kind of mindless, so I give it an 8 out of 10. Now, my user experience for this game has been great. I picked up the controls pretty much instantly, and they are far improved from Age of Calamity. And then as for the UI, a lot of it's kind of ripped from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Age of Calamity, but it's changed to match the theme of the game more. And obviously, they added the new mechanics into the UI. As you can see from the screenshot, they're pretty much the same. They just added in the new mechanics rather than the armor. And then also, they both take from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, with having a clean, boxy layout with rounded corners. I think it looks really good with all of the games, and works really well. I would like to see some more improvement in the future, though, but for now, I give this aspect a 10 out of 10. This game, similarly to like every Zelda game, does have an amazing soundtrack. It fits the game really well. Unfortunately, though, not a lot of it's memorable. I didn't really come out of it thinking, wow, I really loved that one song. I just remember hearing it and thinking it was cool in the moment. I also recognized a lot of music from Tears of the Kingdom, which makes sense, but also it would have worked better if they had made original tracks. So I give this a 7 out of 10. Now, if you think the replayability of the game is how much you get out of it, this game definitely would get a high score, because it has so much side content, so much stuff to do. But I personally think replayability is going back after doing everything, and if that's so, I would never replay it again. Honestly, it's pretty repetitive, it's pretty kind of boring, most of the side content, and I just don't see myself needing to go back and enjoy the story again. I would go back if there's DLC, and there probably will be, because Age of Calamity got 2. But also, for now, it's getting a 4. This game is super complete. It has tons of side content, it has a fully rounded off story, and honestly, I feel like it's an average length for a game. It feels like a grand adventure. So I'm giving this a 10. Although I do think some DLC could be cool, just because I love the gameplay so much. It's not really necessary, but they did it with Age of Calamity, and it's gonna make them money. Like, come on. So I feel like 4 out of 10, but if it gets DLC, even more, probably like a 7. So while this game did just come out, there's not really much to say about support, but it is going to get 2 free updates, and it already has gotten some bug fixes. So we know about that. And there may be DLC, so I'm just going to give it an 8 for now, and if there is DLC, I'll give it a 10. Another one of this game's weaknesses is its uniqueness. Not only is this one of very many warrior-style games made by Koei Tecmo, it's also literally the 4th game to take place in the same world. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment have all taken place in the same world. So this is not getting a high score for uniqueness. Other than that, the gameplay is intuitive for its genre, so I will give it a 5. In conclusion, this game is great. It has awesome gameplay, a really cool story, and on top of everything, it has great graphics and runs at a smooth frame rate. The only real drawback of playing this game is its uncreativity, which, of course, it's going to be uncreative. It's a sequel, so it kind of has to stay in the same world. So, though I could be slightly biased because it's new and I love Zelda, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.